Hey Gear Seekers, I'm Nick. We're doing another build today. This time it's Thermaltake's turn in a new MATX case, the V150 TG. So let's do what we usually do in our new build format. Tear it all apart, take a little bit of a look, see how everything fits, and then do a build. You guys ready? You ready, Claire?
Yeah.
It's Monday morning.
Yeah.
Let's do a Monday morning thing. Let's get it. As usual with these builds and these videos, ladies and gents, we build with parts that we have on hand so we can take a bit of a closer look at all of these new cases. So I'm going to stop talking about the normal intro stuff and let's pull this thing apart and take a bit of a closer look. Let's pull off these TG side panel. It's on a little bit of a hinge and you can just slide it and pop it off. It's actually a very thin TG panel. I feel like I could break this quite easily. I'm gonna knock on wood right now because I don't want that to happen. Okay, let's flip it around to the other side, pop the back side off. Sometimes these things are super tight, so I just use the screwdriver to yeet them off. Pretty standard. It looks like a pretty standard Thermaltake chassis. Probably one that we've seen before. The main difference here with this case is there's no hard drive cage, which I'm all for, considering personally, I just use NVMe drives. I mean, that's not the case for everyone, but like I said, like here, there is nothing. So you don't have a limitation on power supply size. Unless your power supply is literally longer than the case, you should be good to go. But you can actually mount drives. There are rubber grommets that go in the bottom, in the basement here. So you can mount a 3.5-inch drive down there, and you can actually mount them to the top as well. So you can kind of have a gap. So it's kind of like a hard drive cage without the cage itself. So yeah, interesting choice for mounting drives, but ultimately not a huge deal for most people. Included with the case is the standard screws and stuff. Pretty standard front panel connectivity, well, top panel rather. It's got all the regular lights and switch connectors. You've got USB 2.0, HD audio, and a USB 3.0 cable as well. There's a single 120mm fan included in the case, which we're not going to be using. They basically do this because they have them. They have probably hundreds and thousands of them. It's a regular DC powered one. It's not PWM, it's a 3-pin cable. As far as fan and radiator support for the front of the case, 280mm up the front, 240, 120. I'm pretty sure you can fit 3 120 fans, but you wouldn't be able to fit a 360mm rad because there's no additional clearance at the top here, which is no problem. 280 would be probably the biggest that you'd actually want to go up the front anyway. Most MATX cases, you probably wouldn't get away with a 360 anyway. In addition to the 120mm fan mount and the fan mounting and radio mounting up the front, you've actually got a 140mm fan mount at the top. You can do a 120 or a 140. There's also an included mesh filter. This is magnetic. It just sticks to the top of the case and you're good to go. Motherboard support, regular MATX and ITX, nothing too spectacular going on here. It's a pretty bare bones budget case for people who are looking to do an MATX or a smaller type of build. Personally, I think the size might be a little bit too big, but it is what it is at the end of the day. It actually takes design cues from the Level 20 GT with those plastic kind of sides. Obviously they're black, not silver like the Level 20 cases. There is some air intake, although I don't know how effective that's going to be. Obviously we'll find out in the thermal testing, but by the looks of it, it's not going to be optimal. So if you're looking to build in a case like this, I'd probably go some lower end parts. Obviously I'm going to put some really hot parts in here because that's what we do around here. We're going to find out how hot it will get in here, and I'm pretty sure it's going to be a furnace, but I mean, what more can I say? Like it's a closed front case basically. If this was mesh, which I think they should have done, this would have been one of the best MATX cases. So Thermaltake, if you're listening, please give us like mesh versions of these smaller cases, because people like me who like to build smaller PCs, we like this kind of stuff. This is completely removable. As with any other Thermaltake case, you just put your hand in the bottom, pull really hard, and out it comes basically. You can take a bit of a closer look at those fan mounting options as well if we do that as well. There's also a bunch of SSD mounting for 2.5-inch SSDs along here, using the same rubber grommet system as in the basement with the 3.5-inch drives. Yeah, it's an okay chassis. Like, it doesn't actually look too bad. The only thing that I don't like with these cases is the fact that they have closed fronts. If they made an MATX case with an open front, they would absolutely sell like hotcakes. Pretty standard I/O on the front, or rather the top of the case, power button reset, USB 2.0, USB 3.0, and a headphone and microphone jack. Pretty standard stuff here. As far as cable management's looking, there seems to be more than adequate tie down points, which is pretty nice. I know people will complain about not having rubber grommets. This is a budget case, it's no big deal. This case is only going for 99 Australian dollars, which is, I'm gonna say, around 59 to 69 US dollars. The gap between the motherboard tray and the edge of the case is looking to be about 20 mil, which is actually pretty good for cable management. So if you've got some really thick cables, it's gonna work. And with Thermaltake fans, I use those really thick cables, so it actually probably would help with cable management. There's a few other things to note with this case as well. Maximum GPU length, you're looking at about 350 millimeters, which is absolutely huge. I don't even have a GPU that's that big, so yeah, that's nice. I think it's actually good to have it that big and that long, although I feel like with a case like this, you might be wasting a bit of space, or there's too much space up the front. But I know why Thermaltake does it, because they build all of their cases so people can custom water cool them in them as well, which is why you get the additional space at the front if you wanted to put a pump res combo right up the front, which is okay. We can live with that. The other thing that I wanted to note as well, something I don't like that they've been doing lately, well, the past few years anyway, is this window for the PSU. Personally, I don't think it matters if we can see the model number of a power supply down here or whatever. I think it's just there to, I don't know, I feel like it's more expensive to cut this out. I don't know, maybe it's not, but yeah, if they could do away with these windows, I would be very, very happy, because personally, I don't really want to look at that stuff, especially if you're, okay, this is a weird use case, but some people will use SFX power supplies with an adapter bracket, and SFX power supplies will come out to about here, and you'll just see all the cables. I mean, it is a weird use case, but I have seen people do it, and it's actually not a bad idea if you were to be building in a small form factor case, considering you will get more real estate in the basement for stuff too. But ultimately, not really a big deal, but I would like to see them remove these in the future. But overall, I think the chassis is actually pretty nice. Like, it's the quality is a lot better than what Thermaltake's been producing over the last, I'm gonna say 12 months. I think they're beginning to listen to what people are wanting with their new cases and stuff. It's worth mentioning as well with these cases, a lot of people get twisted on it, and sometimes I'm guilty of this too, but these cases are really designed to be budget cases. So obviously they're gonna negate including a few important things in the cases, and especially with a case like this, which is 99 Australian dollars in an MATX form factor, it's actually not too bad for what you're getting. But enough about me talking about that. Let's actually see what it's like by building in it, and then we'll talk about some final thoughts on this after we've built with it and take a look at thermals and all that stuff, because you guys love this new format. So let's jump ahead and start building. You guys ready? Are you ready, Claire?
Yeah.
Please tell me you're ready.
Of course.
You are ready? Okay, well, I'm ready, so let's do it. Alright ladies and gentlemen, it's your favourite part of the video. We're going to visit our friends over at Corp. We also have Corp merch. There's a link down there somewhere so you can grab yourself some Corp merch. You guys are actually buying it, which is actually crazy. But enough about self-promo. Let's visit our friends. We've got a triple peel today, ladies and gents. First off, again, with an inside peel. Here we go. So, a nice wrinkly one, don't mind them a bit wrinkly. Now we're gonna do the front. This one's sounding pretty good. Here we go. Sounds so wrinkly. All right, ladies and gents, we visited our friends. It's time to engage cinematic mode. Let's do it. Alright ladies and gents, I hope you enjoyed the build in the Thermaltake V150 TG, this nice little MATX case. My thoughts on this case are, it's actually not too bad to build in. I was surprised at how good the cable management was. There is a lot of space on the back side, which I wasn't expecting. I had no problems getting everything to fit, basically because we didn't have to navigate anywhere near any type of hard drive cage, which I'm all for. I'm gonna put this out here and people aren't gonna agree with me, but get rid of hard drive cages, it's 2020. I'm wrong, and the comments are always gonna tell me I'm wrong, but that's just how I feel about it. SSDs are very, very cheap now, so I would consider looking for other options. And I know that mechanical drives are cheap, like I get it guys, don't worry, but for small cases like this, get rid of the hard drive sleds, get rid of them, we don't need them anymore. People who are building smaller PCs, they don't need that SSD all the way. People are gonna hate everything I say. I'm sorry in advance. That's just how I feel about it. But yeah, the case is actually better than I thought it was aesthetically. Thermal performance, which you're gonna take a look at right now, is absolutely abysmal. I mean, what would you expect? There is basically no intake on the front, and with the way to mount the fans on this case in the recommended way on the front of the case, it's basically sitting up against the front glass. There is nothing you can do to make this breathe well. There's no surprises here actually with the thermals at all. But the reality is for this case as well, if you're buying something like this, you should probably know that you're not buying it to have the best thermal properties. And that's the reality of a case like this. I just wish Thermaltake would do a mesh front version of this case. And like I said earlier in the video, it would sell like absolute hotcakes. Okay, enough about me ranting about the thermals of this case. Yeah, low-end parts though, it'll be fine, right? You're not gonna thermal throttle and you're not gonna damage stuff. I have seen people commenting, oh, if you run stuff that hot, blah, blah, it's gonna get damaged. First of all, these are worst case scenario stress tests. They literally smash the parts for an hour at a time. It's not damaging anything, guys. Just relax. Thermal tolerances on all these parts are very, very high. More than you can imagine. Relax. Okay, let's chat a little bit about the parts. Let's make it nice and quick. We use the Ryzen 7 3700X. We use the B550M Steel Legend from ASRock. We use the 5700 XT Taichi OC, also from ASRock. The power supply is a Thermaltake IRGB plus 1000 watt. The only reason why we used a 1000 watt power supply is it is legitimately the only Thermaltake power supply that we have available, and I pulled it off our test bench. So yeah, that's why I use it. It's the same reason why I used it last time as well, because it's the only one we currently have. For the fans, the front fans and the rear fan are the Thermaltake Riing Duos. The top one is a Riing Quad, and everything's plugged into a Thermaltake RGB controller. And I actually didn't want to do any color scheme with it. I just wanted to be purely unicorn spew. In fact, I went into the TT RGB software. I set it all up with lighting, but turns out the RGB looks better when the software is not installed. So I uninstalled the RGB software and it looks better. The RAM we use is Thermaltake TOUGHRAM. It's at 3600 megahertz. I actually really like this RAM. It's been really awesome every single time I've ever used it. So I will continue to use it even in non-Thermaltake like builds where I use everything the same. It is really good memory. I do recommend it. I have been using it for about, I don't know, like a year or something. It's been pretty good. The cooler is the, up there, what is it? The Floe DX240 TT Premium Edition. Yep, that's the cooler there. And I didn't use the mounting hardware that comes with the cooler because I don't like using the stock mounting bracket. If it's an ASRock cooler like this, I'll just use any other ASRock bracket that I've got. It works no problem. So yeah, that's why I did that. And obviously the case is the V150 TG, and I did chat about it a little bit earlier in the video, and we had a look at all the stuff. And I don't hate the case. I don't think it's amazing. Aesthetically, it looks really cool. It looks like a mini level 20 GT, which is actually pretty cool. I like that the basement has no obstruction, so you can literally put any power supply you want in there. I literally jammed all of the cables in there. Didn't have any problems with cable management, and overall, I don't hate this PC. I just wish they would make a mesh front version. It's not too much to ask for, and I guess if I keep repeating myself a lot, I'll get a mesh front version. I'm not really hating on it. I just don't think that this case is for people who want to build a high-end PC. Like an office PC, it'd be perfect. Someone who wants to have just like a mid-range gaming PC, no problem. For VR, a VR PC, this would be pretty good. There are uses for these type of cases, and especially the price on it's pretty good. It's like 99 Australian dollars. I'm gonna say it's around between 50 to 70 US dollars, so it's not an overly expensive case. It would be nice if they did a version with this that had all of the like Riing Quad fans all the way through it, like, and charge a little bit more. That'd be pretty sweet. I would like that. One thing I did notice as well, I wanted to put a 280mm AIO. I have a 280mm Thermaltake one. With the way that the front panel's designed, you can't actually use the 140mm fans on the other side of the case itself, which would make it look funny, because if it was sitting behind, you would see the bars from the front of the case. You can do push-pull on this type of setup as well. I don't think it's going to increase thermals that much, basically given the fact that there is no air coming into the case, essentially. Thermaltake sometimes pulls the air from their cases from the fourth dimension. But but overall, it's not a terrible case, but it's just not for everyone. Please, Thermaltake, I know someone from Thermaltake is going to watch this video. Please give us a mesh front version of this case. It would be absolutely awesome. You guys have done such a good job with the build quality of this case compared to some other cases. The chassis design is really nice too. I think it is very well executed in terms of like quality control, which has been a bit of a thing I've noticed in the last 12 months, but this is a lot better. And give us a mesh version. Give us a mesh version. How many times do I need to say it, Claire? Give us a mesh version of this case. It will be amazing. It'll be really good. Legit, just open the front up and you'll be good to go. It'll be all gravy. Everyone will be happy and we'll have all of the airflow. And potentially, if they made a mesh version, it would be cheaper, right? Because there's no glass at the front. I don't know how much glass costs, but I'm guessing it costs more than a bit of mesh. So yeah, that's how I feel about it. If you like the music you heard here, I make all the music. It's available over on our Patreon. If you want to get early access to videos like this one, we're on Float Plane. If you want to support the channel, hit the join button. Ladies and gents, also just wanted to mention as well before I forget, we've been getting a lot of comments lately from people saying that they've been watching us for so long and they realize that they're not subscribed. So if you do that, just subscribe, guys. It's so close to 100K. I can smell that silver play button at the end of the month, the next month. Come on, guys, let's do it. Come on, together. We can do it. We can get a silver play button. I can be a real boy. Anyways, guys, I'm your boy Nick with Gear Seekers. You peak, we seek. We appreciate you guys very much. And again, I just wanted to add, this case isn't horrible. It just doesn't have great airflow. It looks actually pretty good, but it's definitely not for everyone. So yeah, you like it, you don't like it, do whatever you like. It's completely up to you. It's your money. I can't force you to do anything. Thanks for watching.
I think you forgot the thing about the mesh front.
Oh, the mesh front. Make a mesh front version. Should I film a cat clip now? People liked the cat clip.
Do we have some cats?
I can put a cat clip in. I'll go and film a cat clip just for you guys. Right. If there's no cat clip, I didn't film anything. Mr. Big Cat. Big Cat. What are you doing? Are you being a cat? Is that what you're doing? Big Cat. Big Cat. Love me. Why won't you love me? Such a big boy. He does not like that. Big Cat.